Good morning. Twyla from Twyla's Totes. How are you guys doing today? I am doing today the Be Hip 2.0 fanny pack by Sewfisticated Craft Designs. I have a trip coming up. I'm doing the size medium. So I am using from Itchin' to Get Stitchin' the mouse. And I'm using just a kind of a tan waterproof canvas for the inside. I'm going to put black with gold zipper teeth and gold hardware, and I have my black with silver bag tag from Heartwood and Hide. Okay, and oh, I wanted to show you these. I have a couple. My niece is going to Universal Studios in October to Epic Universe, and she asked if I could get some. This is from Itchin' to Get Stitchin' also. Got that one, and then I've got this one that's kind of like almost like a stained glass look to it. I'm gonna make her a couple of belly bags for her trip. Okay, let's see if I can get you in position and we'll get started. Okay, how does that look? I think it's good. Okay, we're going to start with the front panel. And I'm going to go ahead and put my logo on so I don't forget about that, because I don't want to forget that. Let's see, I think there's some measurements in here. Okay. So we'll get this done. I'm just gonna, where's my ruler? Okay, let's just get an idea here where we could go. Mark my center real quick. I think I'll just draw on it. Just to get an idea, because I might not want to go perfectly centered because of where the pattern falls. So let's see where we can put it. Get my tape off here. Okay. And it says in the pattern at least 2 inches away from everything. So I can put it, I can put it fairly centered. That would be cute. There we go. What do you think? Look good? Okay, let's get that stitched on. Okay, I'm going to put my stitch length down to a 3, and I'm going to leave the tails long so that I can pull them through. Let me redo this. I forgot I just wound my bobbin, so I left the thing up. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, Let's pull those threads through the back. And we're going to tie them off. There we go. Okay. We're going to tie these off on the back. And you can do this pattern too without, there's several different options. So when you're going through your options, you can do the front pocket zipper like I'm doing, or you can just do just a flat solid piece on the front, no zipper pocket. Okay, that part's done. Let's move on to the zipper. Okay, and I'm going to need one zipper pull and my 9 5/8 zipper. Let's see which ones I have here. It's not that one. Not that one. I have my zipper pull here. Okay, let's see. Trying to decide. I think I'm going to put some jewelry on the outside of it. Oops. Do a zipper pull. I mean a heart zipper pull. Okay. I thought I had them all cut. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I missed one. Okay, I think it's this one. Okay, I'm going to burn the ends. I'm going to go ahead, get my zipper on there. I feel like I haven't done a video in a while. I feel a little discombobulated. I think the last one I did was the retro sling. That one came out really good. Okay, my hands aren't working today apparently. Oh my goodness. Y'all don't look. There we go. It's on. I don't know why I was having such issues with it. Okay. Now we're going to take the lining piece. Oh, there it is. Of the zipper pocket. Okay. And I'm just going to put a little tape there instead of basting it. Got us some tape. I'll put a piece at the top of this. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to have our zipper face down right here. I'm going to tape it across the top edge here. And the zipper, I cut this one a little bit long, so we've got room. We've got room to wiggle if we need to move the zipper out of the way, which I think I might do that. There we go. Okay. Then we're going to take this one right side down, sandwich it together on top. Gently matching our edges there. Okay, let me check on the seam allowance here. Okay. Make sure you move your zipper out of the way when you get to it. Oh, silly me. Make sure you do your, change your stitch length back to what you had it at. Move the zipper pull out of the way. Okay. Finger press that down. And go to this side. We're going to be top stitching this. I'm just matching up the lining and the main piece here because I'm using vinyl for my outside. So it's a little bit stiffer. I just want to make sure everything lines up really good. Okay, got that done. Now I'm going to top stitch across there. Oh, that looks pretty. That looks pretty. Okay, next we want the side pieces. Okay, which these are my side pieces. Now I think I have to sew this top zipper part on first. Yes, silly. I have to do this part first. Okay, we're going to do this top piece first. This top zipper, what is it called? Front panel zipper pocket. Okay, now I'm going to make sure, because this is directional, I want to make sure that they're going the same direction. So I'm just going to place that down across the top of the zipper here. And I'm going to match up my sides here. Okay, let me see, let me find my other piece. I need, looking for my other lining piece, where is it? There it is. It's my other lining piece. Okay, now we're going to do this at the same seam allowance. Make sure you move your zipper out of the way, your zipper pull. But don't pull too hard, you don't want to fly it off. the other end. Okay, let's see. Now, I'm going to align this here. Okay. Let's do that again. Hold on. Okay, now I'm taking the back lining piece and I'm lining it up with the back so that the right sides are together on the inside. Okay. I'm going to match that across the top here. And then I'm going to stitch that on. Should have just done a basting stitch across the top one to begin with. Okay, now the full seam allowance. That won't cut it, will it? Okay. There we go. Now we're going to top stitch across that. Okay, and I've got the seam going up so that we're stitching on the vinyl, the exterior. Okay. There we go. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, now I'm just going to base around to hold these pieces, all these pieces together here before we move on to the next step. There we go. Now we can move on to the side pieces. Excuse me. And make sure you've got your side pieces in the same direction. Let me trim this up a little bit. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to match these up over here. Mine's a little bit long, my bottom piece. Probably because of my seam allowance on the side or on my zipper. So I'm going to match it up to the top piece here. There we go. Okay, we're going to stitch those on. Pull that out, that flap, and then we're going to top stitch. Okay, we're going to repeat that on the other side. So we've got our whole front pocket finished. Okay, pull that out. There we go. Okay, we'll trim that off in a little bit. There's our front pocket, other zipper, backside. Okay, and I'm not using any interfacing in these pieces. I have interfacing in the flap and the base. Okay, now we're moving on to the mesh pocket, front pocket piece here. And I'm going to use some fold over elastic. Let me find it. I had it in here. There it is. Okay. And I'm just going to cut a piece the length, maybe a little bit longer than what I need. And this version is a bound version. The first one, the original one, was a birthed version. Okay. Now I'm going to fold this onto my mesh here. Gently. And clip it in place. I'm not pulling the elastic to make it stretchy or anything like that. This is the binding that I chose to use. You can use, if you just use canvas, or you could use a piece of your vinyl, your exterior, if you wanted to. Okay. Excuse me. And I have a tag I was going to use in this. Let's see. It is make the whole place shimmer. I'm going to put that in there. Let's see. Place it about right here. Get it up in there. There we go. That's going to be cute right there. Okay, I'm just going to stitch this down. Just to hold it in place. Try not to pull. There we go. There's going to be some nice pockets inside there. Okay, this piece gets placed on your inside lining piece there. And we're going to stitch this down. And then I'll divide it into the pockets. Ouch. Don't clip your fingers. Okay. There we go. And we're just going to stitch this down just to hold it in place. before I came in here this morning to sew this, I watched Jess from Okla Roots. I watched her video on this to remind me. She had some good advice. Okay, now I need my, gonna measure out. Let's see. Oh, I might have put that in the wrong spot. That's fine. There we go. Now we got a few pockets. And you can decide, you know, do you want 2, 3? These are just big enough to put like chapstick or something in. There we go. Now we've got our pockets. Okay. Excuse me. Little slip pockets there that are going to go on the front side. Got those separated. Now we are going to the main zipper. Let me get that one. What did I do with it? I just had it. There it is. Okay. Now I'm going to add that pull on. I'm just using one of these big pop top pulls from Mormino. Most of the hardware is from Mormino. I'll put that on here. Trim those a bit because I pulled the threads. There we go. Get the ends burned good here. There we go. Well, that's good. Okay, let's find our centers of our zippers here. And I'm just going to mark these with a pen. There you go. Got it marked. Now we're going to take it and put it. Okay, hold on just a sec. I gotta sneeze. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, that stupid pollen stuff. Okay, I'm just gonna put a piece of tape across here. And it says to line this up, your zipper. Excuse me. Face up. Let me get this in my head straight. Yes, because then when we go, okay, what we're going to do, the zipper with this lining piece we just did, the zipper pull is going to be going to the right for now, or in this step, okay? And we're going to put this on here. Find my center real quick. I feel so silly. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Hold on. I should have taken the tape off before I did this part. Okay, now I'm just going to line this up just so that we have a little extra zipper on either end for now. Okay. Okay. Done. Now I'll put another piece of tape across there. Or you could stitch it. You don't have to use the tape. I'm just using it instead of basting. What we're going to do is we're going to take our main, our front pocket that we just finished, our front zipper panel, and we're going to lay it face down. And we're just going to match up the edges here. Let's match up the centers because I think my pocket is longer than my lining. I'm going to mark that. Are you okay? Sorry, my mom's in the kitchen and I heard something crash. I have to check on her. Okay, now we'll match up the centers here. There we go. That's better. Make sure my zipper pulls out of the way. There we go. Okay, now we're going to stitch across the top here. And our full seam allowance. Okay, let me move that zipper pull. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell in everybody's ear. Okay, now we're going to flip it right side out. Okay, you can finger press that down. Okay, then we'll fold it over, match up the bottoms. There we go. So then we're going to top stitch across that by the zipper. Just trying not to pull it too hard. There we go. Oh, I didn't even clip that one, did I? Nope. Okay. Now we're going to top stitch right along here. And now our zipper is going to the left, like the zipper on our pocket here. Okay. I've got that done. I can go ahead and baste all these pieces together. There we go. There we go. It looks pretty. I'm happy with that. That looks good. Okay. And our zipper's not going to come off. Now we're going to do the flap pieces. What I'm going to do first, let's see, it says, okay, I need to mark the zipper. Hold on, let me read this real quick so I can explain it. Okay, what I've done is I've marked on the zipper here. I've got the center marked already, but I marked where the pieces end, start and end. And then what we're going to do is separate the zipper. Hold on. We're going to do the lining piece first. And I'm going to, oh, that's the wrong one. That's the base. Yeah, I don't want the base. I want the flap. We'll do the base in a minute. Okay. I mark the centers here with my flaps, because we're going to be working with the curve of this piece. So I want to make sure I've got the centers marked so that when we put it on the zipper, we'll be working with that and lining it up. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully this works. Take my zipper pull off, set it aside. Now, that's the wrong side. I'm working with the lining side first. Okay. I'm going to separate the zipper. This is what Jess did. This is what I'm going to do. Okay, and we're going to, the line that I marked on here is going to be up here at the top edge. And I placed it in the center already. And we're going to gently clip it. Around that curve. The same on this side where I marked that line. Clip that in place. I'll gently go around this curve. Okay, we've got it clipped. Now we're going to follow around. We're going to baste it on first. Oops. And just a little 1/8 inch seam allowance. Okay, where's my stiletto? Use my screwdriver. Just to kind of hold it in place as we go around the curve here. Okay, that's good. Now, we're going to place the flap piece on, matching the same. We're going to have it sandwiched between in the zipper there. And we're just going to make sure the zipper is folded up out of the way, because you're not going to be sewing over the teeth and everything. You need to make sure that it's just laying flat inside of there. And then I have a piece of Decaville Light I think I'm going to put in there after I turn it out, because this flat piece doesn't get bound, the curved part anyway. Okay, it's getting there. It's looking good. Okay. There we go. Now we're going to do our seam allowance. Let's see. Yep. Okay, and I'm just going to feel for the zipper teeth as I go to make sure that they're not underneath the needle. And just go slow so that you can control the curve. Teeth are out of the way there. There we go. Let's see how that looks. I'm going to turn the right side out. Sorry, I keep holding it up close to me. That looks really good. Okay. I'm just gently pulling the tape away from the pieces so that we've got it nice and pretty. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to top stitch along here. Okay, I'm going to put this down in here before I top stitch. Probably don't need it. No, I'm not going to use that piece because the vinyl's pretty thick. Well, not thick, but sturdy. Okay. Now let's top stitch. There we go. There's our flap. Top stitching looks really good. Okay, now we're going to put our zipper pull back on. Make sure I got it going the right way. Okay, there we go. Okay, pull it all the way off. Look how pretty that is. That's going to be cute. Okay, let me put this back on again. Sorry, this is a bit fiddly. Well, I thought I could do it with my fingers, but I'm having issues. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, this time I'm just going to pull it like halfway across. There we go. There it is. The zipper is on. Looks good. Okay, next step. Got that part done. Zipper is on. Okay, we're going to work on the base. And I think what I need to do is my base piece. And I have a piece of Decaville Heavy. This is the, what do you call it? Sew-in kind. So I'm just going to take this in here and baste it. And just baste around the edges because we're going to be binding this next part. Okay. Okay. Just put that in there. We're going to put wrong sides together of our lining and our base exterior. Okay. And then we're just going to stitch those together. Top stitch them, base stitch them, whatever, 1/8 inch stitch them. There we go. Just so that all the pieces are together and not going to slip. Okay. Okay, mark our centers on this. Okay, we got the centers marked. Now we're going to take this piece that we finished here, and we're going to line up with the curve. Our parts here. Yep. And it should lay in there nicely. There we go. Yep. Might put some staples in there, we'll see. Mainly because I use the Decaville Heavy, so it's making it a little bit stiffer. I don't want it to slip. Okay, I'm going to put a few staples in it just to make sure I've got it. Mostly around this curved area here. And just make sure you take your staples out after you sew your seam. Okay, let's go to this side. Definitely need a few right in there. There we go. That looks good. Right there where it's a little bit thick with those side seams. Okay. We're good. Okay. Now we are going to sew that on, and then we will use some fold over elastic to bind it. Okay. And make sure before you bind it that you remove staples if you put them in, if you use staples. When you get your binding on there, you won't be able to see the staples. Okay, we've got that done. You see that? Looks good. Okay, now I'm going to remove my staples before I forget. And then we'll put our binding on. It's being stubborn. Got it. I got it. Okay. Get my binding. And with the binding, what you do is you gently pull it as you go. Let's clip this on here first. Okay. And I'm going to gently pull it as I go around this curve. You've got some stretch there. See what I'm doing? Just gently pulling as I go around this curve here. Okay. Cut this off down here. There we go. Okay, got that part. Okay, let's sew that on. Oops. Okay. Yep, I caught it. Looks good. Okay. Next, we're going to the wings. We got our wing pieces here, which when you get it in the pattern, when you cut it out, it's a solid piece like this. You can just fold it in half, or what I did was I cut it like this, so I've got my mirrored sides, and then I went back and cut them in half. See? So we did that. And what we're going to work on first is, let's see. I think we do the lining first. Yes, and then we do the exterior. Okay, so the lining. And I have to mark. Let's see, where is that mark? Okay, that is here. Okay. So I need to make a mark. 3/16 on the flap here on both sides. Okay. you're on the top flat piece, and from the seam at the zipper 3/16 of an inch, and that's going to be where, when we put our pieces on, they're going to, you're going to meet it up there. Okay, I guess I should do it on this side too so I can see it on my lining side too. Okay. Now we're going to take our lining pieces, right sides together, and we're going to start it up here at that mark, this top edge here. Clip that on. Probably should clip those, trim down these zipper pieces here. I'll do that in a minute. Okay. And then we're going to clip it down. And we go all the way down. Okay. And find the other one. Flat edge. Start it up there at the top. Trim my zippers down really quick. Okay. Burn those edges again. Okay. There we go. Now we can see what we're doing better. There we go. Where was I? Oh. Now this side. Start up there at the top, matching that at that line, and then we come down. Down like so. Okay, I've got those clipped on. So I'm going to, okay, did that, and okay, we're just going to base that on right now. That's why it looks weird. I'm like, why is it? I'll flip my bag out here so that we can. There we go. And we're just going to place that on there. We got that side done. I don't know why this zipper seems to be fraying so much. Okay, let's do the other side. now we're going to do the exterior pieces. We're going to, up here, match up the line. We're just going to come down the side, the straight sides here. Straighten them out a bit. There we go. Do the same on this side. Start at that line. Just come down the straight sides here. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to sew those on, excuse me, at our full seam allowance. Let's see. Now as you get down here to the pointy end, it says to stop sewing at your binding. Okay, so on this side we'll start at the binding and we'll sew up. Okay, we've got that done. I'm going to pull this out, match the sides here. So I'm folding these out because we're going to top stitch now on that. I'm just matching the sides up here. Okay. We're going to top stitch and then baste around. Okay, that looks good. Okay, now this side we'll start at the bottom and go around. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to trim off those little pointy bits. My bigger scissors here. There we go. Well, it looks good. I'm very happy with that. Okay. Next step, we're going to work on the back panel. Okay. So the pieces we need, what are we working on first? The back zipper piece. Okay. I'm going to work on this piece. Which zipper is it? Could be that one. Could be that one. Let's do this one. Okay. And zipper pull. Yep, I'm going to do a pop top zipper pull on that one also. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Now we're going to take our back panel piece, which is this funny shaped one, and the lining pieces for that. Let me check my bobbin real quick. Oh, looks good. I have to put a note up here to remind me to oil my machine after this. It's sounding a little rough. Okay. I'll get my zipper pull on here. Nope. I don't want that bubble in there. Excuse me. There we go. That's better. That's better. Definitely helps when you get all your pieces cut. You put them in like little piles of what goes together, what you're going to be needing. That way you can just keep everything in an order. Okay, we're going to take, let's see, one of the lining pieces. Okay. One of the lining pieces, and we're going to make sure we're going to have the zipper go to the right for now. So I'm going to take that down. On there. Going to the right. Okay. Yep, this is the right zipper. The correct zipper, I should say. I'll gently without stretching or twisting, place that on there. Okay. Then we're going to lay that down in our back panel piece. Have it face up Now this is going to be face down on here. Let me mark my centers really quick. Okay, I marked that with just a pin at the top here, and then I snipped it at the bottom. Okay. We're going to do the same on this. Let's find the center. We'll mark it with a pen. Okay. We're going to line up our centers here. Like so. Just make sure you pull it out of the way when you get to it. Okay, and we're going to mark one where the zipper box. It says to mark 3/8 of an inch from here, from this straight edge here. Okay, so I'm going to mark that on both ends. Okay, and those will be our start and stop lines for our stitching. Okay, and let's see, it says 1/4 inch. Okay, make sure you move your zipper out of the way. Okay, now we're going to flip this to the back side. Oh, I have to cut that in first. Okay, I have to snip in from the corner, from the vinyl side. Don't snip your zipper. Okay. We're just pulling the vinyl up and cutting at a diagonal into that corner piece there. Okay. See where I cut it? Okay. Now we're going to flip it. Okay, what we're going to do here, fold that back, clip that on. I wonder if I could do the 3/8 inch. I'm going to see if I can do the 3/8 inch. I think that would be better. I think I can do the 3/8 inch. Okay, let's try that. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, because I had extra, or the top was going to be sticking out. Okay, what happened was when I flipped it over, my zipper was going to be sticking out by 1/8 of an inch and not matching up at the top. So I went with the larger seam allowance there. So that my zipper will match more closely at the top. It's still up a bit, but I think it'll be okay. Okay. And what we're doing is we're flipping back these side panels here. And we're going to sew these little tabs down. Okay. Yep. Making sure I'm on the right page. Let's sew these little tabs down first. And then we'll top stitch. Okay, we'll fold that back out. And then we're going to top stitch around that after we get these little tabs sent down. Okay. Now we're going to top stitch. There we go. You see that top stitching? It looks really good. Okay, now we're going to take our other piece and we're going to line it up to the top of our zipper. And we are almost done. I'm just going to match up the sides. And the lining underneath is going to be longer when you do this, but that's okay because we're supposed to trim it. Okay, now we're going to base that down. Let's see. Okay. Okay, now gently cut this longer piece back so they're the same. And then we're going to baste all that together. At least the lining pieces anyway, not the exterior. Start on this side. Okie doke, we've got that part done. Done, pocket done, pocket done. Okay, next step, we are doing this piece. This is our interior panel, slip pocket and zipper pocket. Okay, so make sure you note that one panel is shorter than the other. The longer one is the one you're going to put the zipper on. So we have the zipper, and I'm going to do just a little thin. My scissors. There we go. Just doing a little thin zipper on this one because it's an interior pocket. Oops. Okay. And we're going to measure. It's got measurements on here for our pocket. So that's good for the zipper part. And I didn't want to do the credit card part because I'll be carrying a wallet probably. Or at least a purse pouch of some kind. Okay, got our zipper on. Let's make our markings on our pocket piece here. We are going to go down. We'll measure down from the top. And we will make a mark across. And then, I think I need a different pen. I can't see that very well. That's better. Then a ½ inch from there. Okay. And then, let's see from the sides. Let me find my center here. Okay, so I will go there. And there. Okay. Now we're going to line this up with our main lining piece, right sides together. Just going to clip them across the top here so that we can do this. We're going to sew a box around here. Okay, got our box sewn. What we're going to do is we're going to cut that open. And you get about 1/2 inch from either end. Then you want to do like a little V. Okay. And we're going to cut towards, don't cut the stitching, just cut towards as close as you can get. Okay, both ends. Okay, then we're going to flip this to the inside. Through the little hole, pull it to the back. Okay, pull your pieces to the back. Okay. And we're just going to smush those down good. Use your roller if you want. Just matching up the tops here. Trying to get it smooth as possible. I'm going to use my waterproof canvas is a little bit thicker, so it doesn't finger press as nicely as some of the other materials. Okay. Now, we're going to put some tape on our zipper here. I don't think that's right because it looks like it's still got a big bump in it. Let me redo it. I don't want it to curve so badly. Again, come on. Nope. Okay, that's better. Sorry, I'm not usually having issues with zippers like this. There we go. That's better. know why it had a big curve in it. Okay, now, again, let's put this tape on here. Put it on the top and the bottom here. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to center it inside this opening. Let's just take the bottom one off first. Get lined up good inside that opening. Now, okay, we'll take this top piece off. Make sure your pull's out of the way. Okay, now we're going to sew around this box, this zipper box. That will ensure that our zipper is installed. There we go. Okay, now we're going to pull this lining piece up and match it up to the top here. This top edge. Because then we're going to sew around all three sides. Okay. Check my bobbin real quick. It's a little bit loose. Let's put a new one in. Getting kind of close, so I'm going to put a new one in. There we go. That way we know for sure we've got enough to finish. Okay. We're going to close this up. Okay, I'm pulling the top lining piece out of the way so that I can see where I'm going. Okay. Now that I've got that sewn, I'm going to trim this excess out of the way so that we don't have it in our seam allowances. Okay. Make sure you move your top lining piece out of the way so it doesn't get, and if you cut your zipper again, make sure you use the lighter on it. I'm going to trim the top up here too. Okay, and down this side. Okay, now we're not going to have all that bulk in our finishing seams. Okay. My zipper burned a little bit there. A little melty. There we go. That's our pocket. Now we're going to take the slip pocket piece. Okay, and we're going to place it right side together at the bottom here. Let me see what the seam allowance is. Skip it, skip it, skip it. Skip it, skip it. Okay. That is... Oops. Totally missed that. Okay, we're sewing it right sides together across the bottom down here. Okay, now I flip that up. Roll these so we can get them laying nicely at the seam there. There we go. Now we're going to pull this piece up. Let's see, sure. Okay, right side up again. We're going to take this folded seam here and we're going to pull it up to this, matching the sides. Okay, I'm just going to clip this really quick and then I'm going to measure to make sure I've got the height correct. And it needs to be okay, I went up too high. Move this down. Oh, no, I went the wrong way. Okay. Wasn't up high enough. Right there. Okay, make sure I've got this side the same. So just cut just a teeny bit. There we go. Okay, and clip those down. Okay, now I'm going to base stitch all these together. And see, because we trimmed back that pocket some, I'm not going to have so much bulk in that area. So I'm just going to stitch this pocket in place. It gives us a cute little slip pocket on the back side inside the bag. See? Put your phone in there or whatever. Okay, now we're going to take our other wings and we're going to place those down. And then we're going to sew along the straight edge here. Okay. We are almost done. How are we doing on time? Oh, that's not too bad. Not too horrible. And then we flip it out and top stitch. And flip those out and top stitch. Okay, that looks good. Now we're going to move on to our connector pieces, which is our little piece here. Okay. We're going to fold the centers or the sides into the center. At the center line. And then we're going to top stitch down either side. Okay. Okay, now we're going to fold this in half and cut it. So we've got two connectors now. Okay, let me grab my D-rings. And I'm just going to run some stitches as close as I can get to that D-ring so it doesn't move around so much. so it doesn't get all twisty and stuff. Okay, do this side. Okay, got our D-rings done. Now we're going to grab our outside panel here. Ooh, don't fall. Don't fall, don't fall. Let me see. Okay. And we're going to place them. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, it's on the back side. What was wrong? Okay, we're going to mark 3/4 of an inch down. On the side over here. And 3/4 of an inch down over here. Okay. And that's where we're going to place them. There we go. I think I have to base these together. Yeah. Okay, we're going to baste all this together. This is the inside lining piece and the back panel. We're just matching up all the bits and pieces. Oh, trim these off really quick. Trim those off in a second. I want to make sure I've got all these lined up good first. We are almost done. We just got to do this basting bit here and attach it to the front piece. Then we will be done. Okay. Oh, and then we have to bind it, of course. Okie doke. Now we can trim these pieces down. Use my big scissors. I'm just trimming the lining so that it matches the exterior. See where that sticks out a bit? There we go. Looks good. Okay, now we're going to turn this wrong side out. Open the zipper up. Okay. We're going to match our centers. Oh crap. I lost my centers. I got the bottom one. Let's do that one first, since I can see that one. Okay. And our side bits here. Side bits. I don't think I'm going to need any staples on this section. At least I hope not anyway. If you feel you need to put some staples just to hold it, you know, especially if you're using vinyl like I'm doing, I think I might put a staple there because that section's a bit thick. Where all these areas come together here. Right here too. There we go. That's good. Let's put one down here on this end. Okay. This is the section that gets a little dicey. So we will put one in there also. Oop, move that out of the way. That's going to have to be moved as we go. Oh, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing here. I'm just lining up all of my edges here. Okay, and just make sure that as you go, you make sure your zippers are out of the way, because you don't want to sew over those. Which is good that I have it unzipped so that we can move it as we go also. Okay. We are almost done. Oops. Okay. I'm going to start. Let's see. did that part. Okay, clipped, 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 clipped. And okay, we're going to do across this top piece here first. Make sure your D-ring's out of the way. Try to flatten it down as best I can. I need my help jumper. Okay, let's make sure we caught that top edge here by the zipper. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, now we're going to finish our way around here. Squish that down. Got my elastic stuck on. Come on, you can do it. There we go. My fold over elastic got stuck on the edge there. Okay, now all we have to do is bind it. Let me take these staples out before I forget. And you bind it and turn it out. And then the strap, which I'm not going to do right now, is just a crossbody type strap. down just a bit. Okay. It's looking really good. Okay, now we're going to get our elastic. We're going to start up here at the top and just clip it. And stretch slightly as you go. Come around the curve. There we go. And this is a little bit stiffer because I used the Decaville Heavy in the bottom, and probably could have just used Decaville Light. I'm not sure, or nothing. Okay, make sure you move your zipper out of the way again. Oh, well, those just came off, didn't they? As I went around pulling on it. It's okay. Pull that under just a bit. It's just right there. Yep. Okay. Let's get this bound. I'll use my screwdriver to help hold it down as we go. Sorry I was so quiet. I was concentrating. Looks like I got it all the way around. Got it. Okay, let's turn it out. Okay. Take my rings off. I'm afraid I'm going to scratch it all up after all that work. Okay. Sorry I have it down here where you can't see it, but it's one of those things where you have to use your whole body to get it turned out. Okay, let's get those D-rings pulled out. And she's going to need to rest a little bit to get in position to be the shape she needs to be. Okay. Get all my binding pushed in. There we go. Okay, looks good. Let me get my chopstick here, or my, what you call it, needle, my knitting needle. See if I can get this punched out a little bit more. Hold it. There we go, that looks good. Just getting these corners hooked out as best I can. Probably should have chosen thinner materials, but I really wanted one out of this vinyl. Okay, let's see. It looks pretty good. I'm gonna have to spend a little time rolling these edges a little bit, pinching them, getting them to sit where I need them to sit. But she looks pretty good. Really nice. Okay, let me clean this up real quick and I'll show you how we did. And I still have to make the strap, which will be fine. That's no big deal. Sorry, put all my stuff up. Put my toys away. I'm glad you guys were able to join me today. Okay, hold on just a sec. Okay, we're back. There she is, my sophisticated hip, B-hip 2.0. And we have our inside. We've got a slip pocket and a zipper pocket. here at the top, slip pocket, and then we've got these little mesh pockets, and then we have a zipper on the back. And take a little bit for her to sit so that she can get her shape. You know, get your shape back after having birth. Never happens. Okay, and I'm just going to pinch the seams and stuff like that. Try to get the shape good. I think this is going to be really nice. Yeah. It's going to be a good size bag. I might even be able to fit a water bottle in here. Okay. Well, there she is. I hope y'all had fun. Hope you guys make one. Let me know what you think. Make sure you like and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye.